Hello and welcome back to another episode of On Campus. I'm your host, Jaeden Smith, here with my very special guest, Dr. Douglas Mungin. He's the director of the Solano Speech and Debate Team. And I want to ask you, what is it like actually being the director for the Speech and Debate Team here?
Oh man, being the speech and debate team director, it's amazing. I did this activity all my life growing up. So I did my first speech and debate competition when I was in first grade, actually. And so I won my first state championship in 8th grade. And so I did it in high school, did it in college, and now coming back to this activity here at Solano College specifically with such a rich history of coaching and competitors and just the community around us. It's an honor to be a coach here. I've been here now since 2016, and every single year is different, and every single year I feel the team growing and just growing even more. So it's amazing to be a part of.
That's great. So did you actually go to Solano or did you actually go to another university?
Oh, I actually went to another university, unfortunately. I'm not a Falcon like everyone else. I wish I was. I actually graduated from San Francisco State University. And then I got my PhD from Louisiana State University before coming here.
That's great. And was it something that you were always interested in? I know you talked about doing it since the first grade, but was that always something on your mind from then?
I love arguing and I love performing in front of people. And I found the right space for me. I think that some students, I think that in regards to education, we go to classes, but we want something a little bit more hands-on, right? Where it's like, not only do I want to know about this history, I want to compare this historical moment with something else and see kind of like what arguments that we can like come about because of that. And also I like to perform, right? And so it's one of those things where it allows for students who are a little bit more extroverted, or students who want to think more deeply than a classroom discussion. They have that space to like really get into the weeds and in regards to those topics. And I think that's like really cool. And that's one of the things that inspires me about this activity. And I think it really inspires my students too, where every single week they're learning something new and they're learning it from another person who's really intelligent, but also really passionate. And I think that's cool.
That's great. So it kind of creates that sense of community within the speech teams, I guess.
Yeah, not just community within the speech team, but also allowing those students to go into the classrooms and just like, hey, I'm a representative of Solano College. Like, I'm a national champion, and I'm from Vallejo. You know what I mean? I'm from like Sassoon. I'm from Fairfield. I'm from Vacaville. I'm from Dixon. And like, that is what is amazing about that, where we have scholars and superstars in our community, in our classrooms, and being a part of the speech and debate team allows you to tap into that just a little bit more. Very much like Greg and does amazing work with you guys here. You are allowed to tap into those skills and those abilities that you're able to show the world like what we're about.
There we go. So speaking of your students, you guys recently went to Nevada for a national tournament. Can you tell me a little bit about that and their preparation as well?
Yeah, so we competed at the 2024 FIRO Pi National Championships for community colleges. And so the top community colleges from all across the state, this year we had over 40 community colleges from Texas, Florida, Kansas City, New York, Virginia, California, all of them coming together to compete in a 7-day tournament in which there are over 5 rounds of competition. To be at this tournament, you have to be the best of the best, and our students brought home 7 national championship medals at this tournament. So we are incredibly excited for what we've accomplished at a really big event.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. That's great. So speaking of the speech and debate team, you've been a part of it since 2016. What originally led you to actually direct the forensics team?
I did forensics all my life, like I said, but I also was an assistant coach in grad school. And when I was offered the opportunity to, apply here at Solano, one, you have Greg, you have Greg Poff, you have Anna Patero, you have Neil Glines, you have Janine Whitesell, you have Evangeline East. Like, you have like a murderer's row of like amazing public speaking professors and coaches who have shaped not just speech and debate, but who have shaped what it means to be a communication scholar here in Northern California. And so having that opportunity to be here at this school to coach these students, we're in the most diverse county in all of America, man. And so that opportunity to coach these students in a place that has so much success Like, why not? Like, it's, yeah.
I love that. I love that. So speaking of coaching, what is your favorite event to actually coach?
Okay. My favorite event to coach is Duo. Because it allows for, so Duo, it's a competitive acting event where you have 10 minutes and you have a script or multiple scripts that you put into those 10 minutes, and you have two partners and you just perform a script. And I love this event because one, it requires creativity to find like what is a script that two people can work on, but two, it also requires collaboration. And I think that's what's key for education. It's what's key for community. It's what's key for life, right? How do two people with different outlooks or different scripts come together, learn how to collaborate, and make magic together? And I think that's what being a part of speech and debate is. It's going with other individuals, hearing what they have to say, learning from them, taking that into your own life and collaborating. And I think that's what's the beauty about speech and debate, but also what is the beauty about being in a college like this, where we are all learning from each other, we're all connecting. I've had you for what, like 2 years now, bro? And so and now we're doing this and we're collaborating in different aspects. And that's what life is about. That's what education is about. And hopefully we get to continue to do this a lot more. And I'm so excited and proud of my students where they have taken on that mantle and they are doing that in their own personal lives, work lives. Many of our students are going on to four-year universities after competing with us. Some of our students just applied for grad school. Some of our students are even on the board of city council here at Fairfield. And so I think that act of collaboration is the heart of speech and debate, but also the heart of community.
I love that. Now, what are your actual plans for the future of the speech and debate team? Because y'all have a lot of great success right now. What are your plans to keep that success actually going?
Well, I think one of the biggest keys to success is also building up our connection to the community. And so one of the things that my students at I have been talking about is how do we do more community outreach? How do we spread a lot of the messages that we are learning and researching about into our own personal communities? But also, how can we teach these skills to a younger generation, where we have so much talent and young talent in Solano County of really developing speech and debate teams and allowing these students who have become amazing ambassadors for this college to be mentors for a newer generation of students. And so that's kind of how I see my job now, of leading this next generation of Solano students and really expanding what we do outside of the scope of Solano, but into the Solano community.
That's great. Now I know speech is more or less it's the one of the number one fears in the world. It's one of mine. I'm doing it right now and I'm still nervous. But what would you say to anybody that wants to join the forensics team to get them like, hey, it's actually great, try it out?
The speech and debate team is really fun. One, because we work with you at your skill level and your time. And I think that's one of the things that people get so afraid about, like speech and debate and also speaking in public, is that people are going to judge them. And I think that that's one of the things that me and my coach, Janine Whitesell, we really excel at. It's that allowing students to go at their own pace, but also allowing them a network of community, that if you feel like you are supported and you feel like you have the resources, there's nothing to fear. Right?
Exactly.
Like, our fear is of the others and how others will respond. But if you know you have a community that has your back, I think you're going to do fine. And I think that's one of the key things about this Solano Speech and Debate team, is that we really try to foster that community and we really try to foster that sense of self. And once you're able to do that, you can conquer the world, man.
I agree. You have that community behind you and you'll be able to do anything in the world. I completely agree. Well, that's all I have for you today. I want to say thank you for joining me. And thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, Jaden Smith, here with Dr. Doug Mungin, and we'll see you next time.